This is KEXP. It's 90.3 FM in Seattle. Worldwide, we're on the web at KEXP.org. Special treat planned for you today. I'm in the studios. We're going to have some live music today. Joining us from Barcelona, Spain, Filastine. Welcome. Let's hear some music. live music here at KEXP. Filastine, awesome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us, man.
You're very welcome. Gray and Nova, welcome to KEXP. You stopped by before, but this is your first live performance, I do believe.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you could come in.
Yeah, we're really happy to be here. Actually, we see these live performances sometimes from wherever we are on tour and seeing so many good artists. I'm really honored to be here, really.
Very cool. Well, I mentioned Barcelona, Spain is where you're based now. I maybe wanted to take a step back. You have some Seattle roots, or you at least lived here for a while, correct, Gray?
Yeah, I lived here for a good decade, and I used to drive a taxi, a yellow cab here in Seattle, and that was like, say, mid-'90s to mid-2000s.
And you also did some music here, though, part of Tachung and the Infernal Noise Brigade.
Yeah, I kept busy with sound as well. In fact, taxi driving was a way to like survive, you know, on the side of doing all the music and kind of interventions and political work I was doing at the time. So Chakung was a very theatrical kind of performance-based group that based out of Seattle, and then later that kind of morphed into this thing called the Infernal Noise Brigade, which was a 25-piece marching band that was basically founded for the WTO meeting here in '99, and then we went on to provide kind of a live soundtrack for large protests all over the world for about 7 years after that.
Very cool. So you've always been into not just music, but the performance aspect of music as well, and joining theater and video and live instrumentation with beats and live recordings and more.
Yeah, in fact, all these projects to me are just one part of one legacy. It's one thesis. Let's say it's the thesis I'm making in my life, which is to combine street noises, remix the sounds of the world, bring sounds from one place to another, cut them up and mash them into other sounds, and create kind of a different model of globalization, the kind of globalization from below that I would like to see and hear.
And when you see Filastine live, it's not just a concert; it's like an audio-visual experience combining all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, in some ways that's just playing to my strengths, because I don't have any formation as a musician really. The only thing I've studied is tabla, one particular kind of Indian rhythm, and so I'm not that strong of a musician. You might even say I feel like an artist making art in the world, and that in many ways expresses itself through sound, also through the video, which you're seeing here if you're watching this instead of listening, and also through graphic design and other forms of expression.
Cool. And you're joined here today by Nova to some great vocals. How did you two come together?
It's through like friends of friends of friends of friends, of course. Because if we narrow down like who's are the artists and the activists, you know, like this artist and activism world, you know, it's very, very small world. So like my friend from Australia introduced me to him, and then he's from America introduced me to him. So it's like, you know, it's a very small world actually. But we met in Jakarta. He made a stop by before Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And we met there. I organized few gigs for him in Jakarta, in Yogyakarta. And I also performed there. He saw my performance. And then boom, we went to Japan together to test the chemistry, yeah.
And that obviously worked, because you've been making some great music together for quite a while now, actually.
Yeah, it was from 2009 was the year that we made a song together.
Cool. And you've been working together ever since.
Yes.
I saw you at Decibel, was that just last year? That was one of my favorite shows, just a great performance.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it was Decibel. It was my first time to Seattle.
Ah, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, what are you guys working on now? I want to mention the new video series that is coming out. You have already released one. It's called The Minor. And this is part of the Abandoned series, which are their songs, but they're also videos.
Yeah. You know more about it.
Sure, like you said, they're more like audiovisual works. In that case, they're not musical singles that are looking for promotional video. They're made in tandem, and they're made in tandem together, the song and the video, and developed in the same moment. And also the whole package is made as one concept, and the name of the whole concept is Abandon. And in some ways, it's a play on words, in that we're abandoning the normal way that you would release music or release media, and that I think it's increasingly irrelevant to release things in a format of here's an album or an EP when we no longer have the formats that decided how long those ideas would be. So now, if we don't have to fill up 2 sides of a vinyl or 1 side of a short vinyl or whatever the case may be, why aren't we inventing new ways to package our music into more narrative storytelling? Because that was the idea of an album, is you tell something over the course of an hour. And so we're telling something over the course of a series of videos that are released quarterly in 1 year.
And they're very cool. I have seen them. You've only released one so far. You have one coming out this Thursday. The next in the series is called The Cleaner. What is the theme holding them all together?
It's about like about crappy jobs basically, and then we work together with dancers. Also, kind of trying to like appreciate more like the dance. The dancers in all over the world actually use our music a lot for their dance performance. So we are trying to work together with them to tell this story about like kind of the release of this crappy job and then trying to do the thing that you want, basically. So all of them has the same storyline, which is like, went through like really uncomfortable job and then trying to, just put it away and then have a new life.
And each one is based in a different country. The first one was in Java.
In Java.
And then The Cleaner is?
In Portugal.
Okay.
Yeah, in Lisboa. And then the third one is based here actually. It was made here like last year, and then we still do the production of it. And the last one will be in Barcelona with the, what you call it? Chatareros.
Street metal collectors.
Yeah. Which is like mostly immigrants from Senegal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in each case, it's about being trapped in some kind of wheel of life where you're forced to do a labor that's bad for both your internal nature and the external nature. So in the case of the miner, it's really clear this person is doing a kind of work that is damaging to the world and damaging to his own spirit. And so it's about this transformation and epiphany of being able to depart from that.
They're beautiful too, both beautiful and sad, and it's cool to see that connection in different places with different takes. Really cool works.
Thank you.
Once again, we're talking with Filastine. So you mentioned you're kind of abandoning also the normal format of releasing music. You have released EPs and full lengths in the past. What does the future hold for you then? Will there be other albums? Are you going to try some new ways of releasing music? Each time I've put out an album, I've thought this is the last one because do we really need this format anymore? Does anyone really want a compact disc? But we're still in the music business. They still kind of insist, especially radio stations. And I understand why.
It,
yeah, it's in radio stations. They have a shelf and things go on the shelf, and I understand it takes a long time for that to change. So we'll combine all the tracks of Abandon together with other new material we're making over the last few years and put out a proper album. And after that, I don't think I can be convinced to make another one because they take so much. I mean, it's just an insane amount of work because we do a lot of things ourselves, and it's just kind of because we're obsessive and we like to work with the visual aspect of it and the design and the ideas and I prefer to work in bite-sized chunks. A few tracks or a track in a video or Abandon. Where it's a series of 4, and also we have a bit of a bigger plan that we're kind of making a long, slow crossfade from the music frame into a more art, multimedia, and kind of not such a specifically sound-oriented frame. And by that, it means maybe departing from playing those kinds of venues that are only for music and from releasing music in such the typical format. And I'd say for the near to far future, we're planning on building a large ship made of wood in Sulawesi. It's called a pinisi that would be custom built for our performance, and the sails would double as screens and projection surfaces, and we'd be touring that around and performing in ports, generally free, and we'd start there in Indonesia, performing in ports and relating it to ocean ecology and environmentalism and the things we're interested in, and later seeing if we can't launch that into the rest of the world, depending on how the funding and all that goes.
Wow, that's absolutely incredible. I would love to see that come. Tell me a little bit about the creative process. So you guys tour quite a bit, and you're playing all over the world, and you're doing lots of different collaborations with people all over the world. Are you going somewhere, meeting people? Are you traveling specifically to meet other people? Is it a little bit of both, and then you kind of see what happens, or do you always have things in mind?
Well, you can see that even the collaboration between Nova and I is born of that. it used to just be me wandering the world and meeting people and collaborating here and there, and it turns out that, I met someone that we can do something great together, and so the project goes transforming through time, as we meet those people and we find the different contexts. Something notable that we've done lately, as you bring about like how we tour, not always in the most normal ways. I'd say one of our favorite gigs in the whole history of this project was really recently in last December. In the Calais jungle, this migrant refugee camp at the edge of France, where people are waiting to cross into the UK, and there's an arts dome there, like a temporary dome structure, and we threw what to my knowledge is the only big concert that ever happened there, and brought in a full sound system and did a gig for all these migrants who are spending every night getting all busted up, trying to hide themselves underneath of trucks and climb onto moving trains and stuff, trying to get to the UK in their long journey from Afghanistan and Syria and all these other countries that are in conflict.
Incredible. Talking to Filastine, based, as I said, in Barcelona, resident of the world. I'm really glad you guys are here today.
Likewise.
You want to play some more tunes?
Yeah.
Let's hear some more
absolutely.
music. Please.
Hanya mataku yang lihat semua. Aku hanya bayangkan tapi tak dapat kulakukan. Tetap terpaku menatap membekuk kaku. Mataku lihat kiri kanan hanya menambah beban. Ingin ku tak peduli, namun tetap tak bisa pergi, tak bisa berlari. Pasang mata ini tuh terus jadi saksi. Mata hatiku pun serasa terasa. Oh, semakin sakit jika ku rasa kuda yang menusuk ke dalam jiwa. Beradu tak menentu seperti orang gila. Lelah jika realita terus menghujam, mau terpejam, geram terus saja mengendap, terbuka. Saksikan perbuatan manusia jahanam.
Gorgeous. Wow, live music here from Filastine, KEXP. Thank you so much. That was really great.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I really love your collaboration of musical styles, your collaboration of music with visual, your collaboration of artistic expression and experience, bringing people together, exposing the ways of the world, good and bad, and it's just amazing. Please don't stop making art.
Thank you, sir.
You're
Glad to be here.
Once again, it's Filastine, the latest in the Abandoned series, the song and video. The Cleaner comes out this Thursday, May 26th, and I know you'll be touring the Southwest states soon, and also up in Oregon soon for the WTF Festival. I'll post some links on KXP's playlist so people can find out more about the music and when to see you live. Nova, Gray, thank you for joining me.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Kevin, for sound, KXP video, Joseph, and everyone here at KEXP. It's KXP Seattle.
Discover new music at listener-powered KEXP.org.